welcome to another one of my videos. Enjoy, bear with me. This video will be the 5 mindfulness trainings and walking meditation. Enjoy, comment down below. The 5 mindfulness trainings are guidelines for how to live our daily lives in a way that nourishes happiness and transforms ill-being. The 5 mindfulness trainings are also the kind of thinking and acting that have the power to heal. You can recite them daily or monthly, alone with a group, to renew your intentions and inspiration to practice. The first mindfulness training is Reverence for Life. Aware of the suffering caused by the destruction of life, I am committed to cultivating the insight of interbeing, compassion, and learning ways to protect the lives of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I am determined not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to support any act of killing in the world. In my thinking or in my way of life, seeing that harmful actions arise from anger, fear, greed, intolerance, which in turn come from dualistic and discriminating thinking. I will cultivate openness, non-discrimination, and non-attachment to views in order to transform violence, fanaticism, and dogmatism in myself and in the world. The second mindfulness training is true happiness. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I am committed to practicing generosity in my thinking, speaking, and acting. I am determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others, and I will share my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in need. I will practice looking deeply to see that the happiness and suffering of others are not separate from my own happiness and suffering, that true happiness is not possible without understanding and compassion, and that running after wealth, fame, power, and sensual desires, pleasures, can bring much suffering and despair. I am aware that happiness depends on my mental attitude and not on external conditions, and that I can live happily in the present moment simply by remembering that I already have more than enough conditions to be happy and cultivating and being content. I am committed to practicing right livelihoods that I can help reduce the suffering of living beings on Earth and reverse the process of global warming. True love. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I am committed to cultivating responsibility and learning ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. Knowing that sexual desire is very short, is not love, and that sexual activity motivated by craving always harms myself as well as others. I am determined not to engage in sexual relations with true love and a deep long-term commitment made known to my family and friends. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. Seeing that body and mind are one, I am committed to learning appropriate ways to take care of sexual energy and cultivating loving kindness, compassion, joy, and inclusiveness, which are the 4 basic elements of true love, for my greater happiness in others and the greater happiness of others. Practicing true love, we know that we will continue beautiful into the future. Loving speech and deep listening. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I am committed to cultivating loving speech and compassionate listening in order to relieve sufferings and promote reconciliation and peace in myself and among other people, ethnic and religious groups and nations, and all. May all love all. Nourishment and healing. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful consumption, I am committed to cultivating good health, physical and mental, for myself, family, society, by practicing mindful eating, drinking, and consuming. I will practice looking deeply into how I consume the 4 kinds of nutrients, namely edible foods, sense impressions, volition, and consciousness. I am determined not to gamble or to use alcohol, drugs, or any other products that contain toxicants, such as certain websites, electronics, and conversations. I will practice coming back to the present moment to be in touch with the refreshing, healing elements in me and around me, not letting regrets and sorrow drag me back into the past, nor letting anxiety, fear, or craving pull me out of the present moment. I am determined not to try to cover up loneliness, anxiety, or other suffering by losing myself in consumption. I will face reality. I will be a warrior. I will contemplate, interbeing, and consume in a way that preserves peace, joy, and well-being in my body and consciousness, in the collective body and consciousness of my family, society, and the earth.